business is a little bit more, is a little harder, I guess. And there's a lot more information, and it might be harder to become a millionaire than it will to have a six pack, right?
When did you make your first M? Not net, but like in sales. When did you do your first like?
Oh, I don't know, like not even 20, maybe like 19 years old.
Yeah,
18,
so that's
19.
extremely rare. But it's becoming more common nowadays. I've kind of noticed that.
It is, and I think it's getting easier.
You're probably more in that kind of like space with like the younger guys. Is there people like killing it? 18, 19? Are you seeing? Because I'm not in there.
Yeah. There is. There are people that are doing similar numbers that I was at 19, but it's just really rare. And there's obviously some oddballs that are doing way more.
What do you think differentiates you at 20 versus a 20-year-old that isn't where you are?
You're asking me?
I just want to know because I'm actually curious.
Okay. Well, I want to say one thing. This is actually my first $1 million a month profit. So I'll start there.
Brother.
So this is my first one, October of 2022.
Not bad. Not bad.
Most 23-year-olds can't say that. So let's just start there. I think the difference is that I was completely like madly obsessed with money since I could remember, because of all the circumstances that I was put through as a child. So I had an unhealthy obsession with getting as much money as possible. It was extremely materialistic, and I mean, at one point it was even a survival thing, because my mom, I mean, there was one point where the lights just went out in our house and we just couldn't afford electricity. She couldn't pay the bill. So from then on, like I knew, like lighting a candle and taking it to my bedroom, I was like, I don't want my kids to go through this. So it's all I ever thought about it as a kid. And then going to McDonald's, I couldn't get anything but a McChicken or a McDouble because they're $1 at the time. So it's just, I was put through so many circumstances over and over and over and over and over again. My dog, I had one pair of shorts when I was already going to school with people, this one pair of plaid shorts that my dog pissed on, and I had to take piss shorts to school, and I was made fun of. So it's like a lot of humiliation, and I don't think that most people go through that kind of stuff, so they don't have this like insane obsession with money. That's probably where it all stems from. But I tried a lot of things, and yeah,
I know I'm not the host, but can I ask you a follow up on that one?
You can ask me whatever you want.
So what would you tell people that are, because there are a lot of people, there's nothing new under the sun. There's people that are dealing with the same humiliation that you went through, with the same kind of struggle of like, there's nothing in my house. Like I can't provide for my family. Like my family doesn't have anything. There's fucking maggots on the floor. Like, what would you tell that guy that's listening to this? How do they get out? How does that young guy get out?
Yeah, well, what I've learned just personally in my own experience was that money and value are pretty tied. So the more valuable you are to some degree, the more money you're going to make in terms of starting a business and like getting consistent money, not like investing and stuff. But the more valuable you are, the more you're going to make. So if you don't have any skills or value to provide to the world, then why would you have any money? Why would anybody trade currency, with you if you don't have anything to give? In my case, as a person, like as a business guy, I'm not that valuable. Like I'm not the best business guy in the world. I'm not the best CEO. But the value, where my value comes from is my audience. I have a very large audience, and I provide value to a lot of people. And so I'm able to make money off that. And it's easy for me to make friends with, people like you. And that's where my value comes from, is that I provide a lot of value to a lot of people, which is still a lot of value. But I'm not like the smartest person in the world, which would also be a lot of value or something like that. So I think that just to answer the question, you need to become valuable in some certain sort of way.
So focus on yourself.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I'm very similar with that one. I was able to actually like break it down into a couple like segments of how to make a ton of money. So like you said, you have to provide value. Elon Musk said it best, in my opinion. It's you get paid in proportion to the difficulty of the problems that you solve. Mm-hmm. So if you solve big problems, you'll get paid a lot of money. If you solve little problems, you won't get paid a lot of money. Mm-hmm. So the guy flipping patties at McDonald's, he's not worth a lot because the problem that he's solving is not a big problem. And it's a problem that many other people can solve.
Yeah.
But if you put a man on Mars, right, then you're in a situation where the value, or let's say you have the ability to cure cancer. Now the value attached to that is extremely high, right? Because there's not a lot of people that can do it, and the value of the impact is really big. So if people want to make a lot of money, dude, I divide it into three things. First is you need to be able to do something that's in high demand, right? So for example, it doesn't matter if you were putting out the biggest banger videos in the world. If YouTube wasn't a thing, right, and nobody really watched YouTube, you wouldn't be able to monetize it, right? So what you need to be doing needs to be in high demand. The second thing is you need to be able to be doing something and be the best at it, right? So you need to be the best at what you do. Not only do you have to be the best at what you do, but you also have to be in a situation where you have to be irreplaceable, right? So you cannot be replaced. And this is where most people fall off, is that most people are replaceable. That's why their careers are very short. That's why their YouTube careers are very short. That's why they can get fired and the boss doesn't blink an eye, right? But there are people out there that you can't replace, dude. Like you can't just go out there and replace your lead engineer at Amazon AWS, right? Like you can't just go out and replace that dude that's built the entire infrastructure. Therefore, he's secured his ability to make money. Why? Because he can't be touched. Then he's the best at what he does, so he can negotiate his price. And finally, what he's doing is in demand, which means he will always find a supply for monetary transactions in that thing. So figure out something that you can do that's in high demand. I would say something in the Web3 space right now would be really good. Coding, cybersecurity, all these things, if you can learn them, super phenomenal. You need to be able to be the best at what you do so that you can negotiate at the table. Because when you come as the G, right, Drake doesn't walk into the room in the record label with the same terms some new kid would come in with, right? He comes in and he sets the terms because he's the best at what he does. And then finally, you can't be replaceable, right? Because if you come in with a preposterous deal or you want the best deal in hand, you need to be able to have leverage. And being irreplaceable gives you that leverage. So if you want to make money, ladies and gentlemen, figure out where you can be irreplaceable, where you can be the best at what you do, and where what you do is in high demand, and you will make money in perpetuity for always and forever.